While I'm working on my while I'm living off my 401k, I start getting into streaming a little bit, but eventually I have to work again because I'm running out of money and I have like a house and shit. And I started doing carpet cleaning, which
Hmm.
was the worst thing in the world.
Really?
Yeah, and I do that for about a year while I try to do like so I try to stream a little bit like between jobs.
Uh-huh.
I think if you look, there's really old YouTube clips of me where I'm like, "Hey, this is Steve with Guaranteed Clean. Can I push your carpet cleaning job back 2 hours?" And I like hang out I'm like, "All right, guy, let's go. We got a few
Wait, but
hours
you
to live."
couldn't stream on YouTube.
No, that didn't even exist back
You
then.
were
No.
streaming on what? Some weird ass site?
Initially, it was a site called livestream.com.
All right.
Then there was a site called Ustream.
And it was always you playing games with your face in the corner?
Yeah, basically, I don't know if my face was in the early ones. I don't think they were like
Okay,
webcam
yeah.
and stuff. Yeah,
That
but
probably took a while.
yeah. And then eventually I settled on Justin TV for a while because they gave you like, it was like the most bandwidth. It was like 500 kilobits per second. It was like, oh my God, so much data.
And you said you were a conservative throughout all these years, or how would you describe yourself politically?
Yeah, I'd say libertarian conservative. Yeah. Big
Okay.
Ron Paul fan in 2008. I don't know if you remember that shit.
I heard you talking about that. Okay. And so then, like, at what point does like you were just talking about whatever for all these years? Like, what were you talking about for the most part? And like, how did you kind of develop your style through streaming?
I would say that like probably my biggest gift through high school was I was just like really funny. I had like a pretty diverse group of people that I could chat with because I was always making jokes and stuff. And like playing games with people like was really funny. We'd have like Tekken or Mario Kart or Smash Brothers set up like in the hallway at school and shit, and we'd be like screaming and going wild. It was just like a really funny time, and that's where the suggestion of stream came from because I think Kyle was like, "Yeah, you know, you're kind of funny when you play games and shit. You should do that online." I was like, "Yeah," and then I just kind of like carried that over to the online world, and then I've been like trash talking and like being aggressive for like 10 years on the internet, so it carried over pretty easily and quickly. Yeah.
Right. All right. I just want to dig in on this topic a little bit more. Have you ever felt like you had an unhealthy relationship with video games? Because I know myself that when there is a video game that I'm into, it's very likely that I have an unhealthy relationship with playing it too much and like doing it instead of things that I should be doing, or like cutting into my sleep because I'm staying up late doing it. Like, is that something you see in yourself?
Yeah, and early on, absolutely.
Right.
That's why I said I was really lucky that games back then had a lot of text to
Right.
read. Because if I was like a kid today that was addicted to games, I might have failed out of high school.
Right. Because
I'd be
it's not going to
fucked.
build as much of a
Exactly, yeah.
set of skills, right?
Wait, was it just video games, or do you naturally just have like a obsessive personality to where you just gauge on anything you enjoy?
I don't think I do. Like I've tried cigarettes, alcohol, a lot of drugs. I don't get like addicted to stuff like gambling. I don't like. Yeah, it's just video games will just like super like suck me in. Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know. What are the games you play these days? Because a lot of times when I watch you argue with somebody, you're like looking away from the screen, like squinting, playing some fucking game, and it's
Minecraft?
I don't know what, like, I'm not familiar with any of the fucking modern games, so it's kind of a mystery to me.
I just play like these weird like base builder optimizing games. It's not like a. It's hard to explain. Over the past like 6 months, I've been focusing on like conversations and stuff. So the games I have running right now are like really background things.
Okay.
Before this, my crack cocaine would have been fucking League of Legends. It was like
Right.
the worst, career destroying, life destroying, relationship destroying game.
You
that
had to
I've-
really like cut yourself off from that at a certain point.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was like a real full break, like it was a drug addiction.
Yeah, I would say that like was it 3 months ago? My fans will know where I took like a I was close to like a new rank in league, and I think I told Melina, my wife, I was like, listen, I need you to stay the fuck away from me for like 2 days, and I just need to because I need to grind the fuck out of this. And that 2 days turned into like 2 weeks,
Right.
where I'm like not really streaming much, and like I'm just like fuck yeah, it's yeah.
You didn't even want to stream it. It was that intense.
No, because dealing with chat, everything, I just want to fucking focus on my shit. Yeah.
Right.
But that's a bad game. League of Legends is friends don't let friends play League of Legends.
I had a conversation the other day with a friend of mine who's a professional poker player, and he was talking about why he doesn't really play as much poker anymore. And he basically just said that at a certain point he realized that he was trading his time for money. And it's like he's developed this skill set. He knows he can consistently beat the games, but at a certain point, like, don't you kind of want more from your life than just like swapping your hourly for a certain amount of money? When you look at how much time you spend playing video games, are you ever like kind of appalled by that? Because it's not even like you're really trading it for money. You're like trading it for like status in a video game that who knows, it might not even be around in a couple of years, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's like two rough ways to look at like things in life. You've got like happiness and you've got like fulfillment. I don't think games give you very much from fulfillment unless maybe you're like competing, you're like winning tournaments maybe. But there's a lot of happiness. Like I don't regret time I've spent playing games. Maybe there's other bigger projects that I could work on, which is kind of what I'm focusing on now. But I don't look back at games and it's like, fuck, I shouldn't have played this game so much. Like I had a lot of fun memories and shit playing video games and stuff.
Right. But I mean, I also just like, When we first opened the store downtown, and realistically, this is like right when I first had No Jumper set up. I noticed that myself. I like just watched every single episode of Entourage, and when I look back on that, I was like, you were fucking scared of actually putting the time and investment into this thing that you kind of knew at that time that it was going to be huge for you. Like, I think I was like scared of, you know, my potential, basically, that I knew that I was like on the verge of something. And so I found this thing that was a huge time sink for me to just sort of put a ton of effort into. And like, I don't know, sometimes when I look at video games, I see that they're kind of like that, where it's like I could have got somewhere faster in life if I maybe hadn't felt the need to be burying my head into this shit.
Yeah, maybe it's possible. I'm in a really lucky spot that my video game addiction works a little differently because I monetize it, you know?
Right,
So,
yeah.
it's a bit different, but yeah. I understand what you mean there for sure, though.
All right, people, we just hit 300,000 subscribers. You know we're trying to hit 400,000 subscribers. So that little red button, tap it, tap in. We appreciate y'all.